Kakadosh Boker Or, Bekiim Bahalacha 4, day 58. We're on page 146, Halacha Lamed Bet, Siman Kav Zayin, right? There's Halacha 32, right? What happens if a person requires a chatzitza for halachic reasons? For health reasons. Meaning that, again, we're talking about the Ilchot Tefillin. So now we're going to start. Adam sheyesh lo mechush umachovim rosho, v'megale rosho yazik lo akor. One of the person has something on his head, right? A condition, and it would be aggravated if he exposed his head to cold air, right? So yishtadel laniach tefillin rosho below hefsek. Still try to put on the tefillin without hefsek. Al kol panim zman muat, at least for a little bit of time. Im efshar yoter shelechol b'chol b'shat kriyat shema v'tefillah. At least minimum for the time of kriyat shema and tefillah. Okay. Ulam, however, though, what happens if he could only put the tefillin on the kova? He can't put it on his head. Hey, if you're going to tell him put it on your head, he's not going to do it, and then he's going to not do it at all. So, Kevin Shuanus, since he's mamash force majeure, yesh latilo laniach tefillin shel rosh al kova, permit to put it on the kova rak, right? He says asamuch lerosho, right, the closest to his head. And then it could be somech on shitat Rashba that there's no chatzitza on tefillin shel Rosh. Okay? Usheminiach tefillin al kova dak yechasem mipnei aroim. Still cover them because of the people. Meaning, imagine right now I come and you see me come and put tefillin on top of my kippah. You're going to come. You're going to say, mutar lasim al kippah. Why should I put it directly on my head? I don't want to make a bald spot. So I put it on the kippah. Yeah? And then that's it, without any problem. No. So cover it. Because you don't want people to come and learn, right? And really, be'emet, it's not true. Meaning that it was only just because the person had a condition, a medical condition, that he was obligated to do such a thing. Ulgabe bracha, and to do with bracha. The didan Sfaradim, according to the Sfaradim, anyway, b'lavachi, we don't make a bracha on tefillin sheberosh, ela potrim shalosh v'shel yad. Aval minhag Ashkenazim, but according to the Ashkenazim, they're going to make a bracha on tefillin, a mitzvah tefillin, be'ofen zeh shemeniach. That in such a case where you're going to place, right, the shalosh al kovada, lo yivarechu al tefillin shalosh, don't make a bracha on tefillin shalosh, ela yechavnu b'brikat tefillin shel yad, leotzi tefillin shalosh. Have the kavanah on tefillin shel yad to be mitzvah tefillin shalosh, which is like always. For Sfaradim, we don't make two brachot. So for the Sfaradim, you're going to make one bracha, right, on the tefillin shel yad, and be mitzvah tefillin shalosh. But according to the Ashkenazim, right, they're going to have the bracha on the tefillin shel yad, right, and the ones that they make on shalosh. So now what is he going to do? So here he's not going to make the bracha on the Shel Rosh. Because again, Ashkenazim, what they do is they make bracha laniach tefillin shel yad, and then they make bracha on mitzvah tefillin on the Rosh. But where are they putting the Rosh? They're not putting it on their head. They're putting it al hakova. So in such a case that they're going to put it on the kova, they should not make a bracha on the tefillin shel Rosh. They're going to have the kavanah on the tefillin shel yad, leotzi et tefillin shel Rosh. So that was halacha lamed bet. Okay, so if you look on number 157 in the footnote, what happens if a person has a heavy cap? So the Shulchan Aruch specifies that he may wear, right, the tefillin on top of a thin cap. Meaning, one more time, we said that, let's say, like I told you, like a kippah, something very, very thin. But what happens if a person has a big hat? Right now, what? He's going to put the tefillin on a big hat? So he says, I'm going to deduce from this that he cannot wear it on the thick cap. If he would, then the tefillin for sure is not considered on his head. But if it's going to be on something which is thin, so then it's going to be okay. The Chaye Adam cited in the Kav HaChaim brings down that the problem with the thick cap is that it is impossible for the person to position the tefillin correctly. So according to this, right, if the thick cap fits evenly on the person's head, so then maybe it is going to be okay, no matter how thick that it is. Okay, fine. Now what happens if the person does not have tefillin shel yad? So he only has a rosh, and he's not putting the rosh on the proper place because he's putting it on top of the thin hat because of the medical condition. So he says if the Sephardic Jew has no tefillin shel yad to wear, he's supposed to put on the tefillin shel Rosh and recite the bracha of mitzvah tefillin. If he puts on the tefillin shel Rosh on top of the thin cap, he cannot make the bracha. And if the cap blocks the strap but not the bite, he could say, we know this. What happens if you could put the tefillin on here, but the hefsek is only on the straps, not on the actual bite? So then you could make the bracha. Okay? Fine. Halacha number 33, Lamed Gimel. Right? Just like we learned in the previous halacha, so let's say a person has a tachboshet. Yeah? So he says, you always go ahead and then we look back. Yeah? That if a person has a chatzitza in the place of the tefillin, ואיני יכול להסיר את התחבושת כלל, and he can't, יניח התפילין לתחבושת, place it on the תחבושת, יכסה התפילין, then cover the tefillin. Meaning, instead of me putting it here, right, I'm still going to put it here. You got the bandage, or whatever it is that he's got on his head, you put it on. That's what you're supposed to put it. No, that's what you just said. No, that's to do with the bracha. אבל אם הייתה תחבושת רק במקום הרצועות, but if the תחבושת is only going to be on the רצועות, יניח הבית במקומו, לא שום חציצה. Obviously place the bite in the proper place. And according to Ashkenazim, you could even make the bracha with mitzvah tefillin. Okay, that was הלכה למד ג'. הלכה למד ד'. תפילין שהונח על הטיטורה מבפנים, חומר הנקרא ג'לטין, שנעשה מעצמו בהמות טמאות, או לק, כדי להשקיף ולהצליל את אור הטיטורה, יהיה ניכר בחוץ שפרשיות מונחו בבתים, תפילין אלו כשרות, ואין לפוסלה מדין חציצה right בין התפילין לפרשיות, שכיוון שיש בזה נוי תפילין, it's considered a כל הנאותו אינו חוצץ, וגם אין לחוש בזה משום מן המותר בפיך, כפי שנתפאר לאל. So here it says that they applied gelatin to the bottom of the טיטורה in order to make it transparent, so that people could see the scrolls inside the bite. Very interesting. There's a picture of it, apparently, right? We couldn't find the one on Tefillin, but apparently in illustration 41, they actually make it see-through. And he says this is true even if the gelatin is made from bones of non-kosher animals. It does not make a chatzitza because, again, it's the beauty. And also, even if it's not going to come from kosher animal, it's still going to be kosher.